football pull up. You already know, bro. Look at the lighting. Lighting's good, bro. Come on, King Jones, Banj. Come on, man. You already know, like, look at our description for all like the social medias there. Like, we've been putting that up, the social medias. Subscribe, like, share, all of that. You know, first thing I want to say, obviously, we didn't put up on our last video. Like, to be honest, like, I actually met the guy, so it kind of touched me in a way because I met the guy, like, you know what I mean? Like, not even that I'd say I knew him like that because I didn't, but we've always been following his music, been big advocates from Stereotype to Slut Freestyle. Even the mixtape, the Commitment, I thought was dope. That song he had with Shaka, But forget about that. When I met him as a person, I thought he was dope. I went to Big Tove's show. He performed there. He was good. You know, like R.I.P. Cadet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was one. Like, for me, like, it was a dope musician and a dope person. So I don't mean, like, I don't want to, you know, start this without saying something. Cause
I think Arsenal should do like a minute silence with like a black band in it for him. He's a big Arsenal fan, isn't it? So
I mean, they probably won't, but they should.
I think people should get together, petition the club, and be like, you know.
Like, salute, you know, obviously, my condolences out to his family and to Cadet, to Crep, you know, obviously, so what Crep put up and what they did at Hyde Park. I couldn't make it, so I would have tried to turn up, but a couple of our friends did, in that. So, you know, it was really sad thing. And the best thing to do to honor his legacy and everything he's done, you know what I mean? Like, you know, check for what his family's doing and try and help if they're doing some sort of cause and go back and listen to his music, because his music is dope. He was I felt like you could kind of feel like you knew him through his music because he was very vulnerable in his music. He spoke about, like, you know what I mean? He spoke about his life, his experiences, all the times he done well and all the mess ups he done, right? Which is great. Like, I like artists like you. You love Joe Budden, so you like artists like that.
Cadet was one of my favorites. Definitely, if you like that, you know, emotional, hardcore, you know, like really real rap type thing, or grime or whatever. You know, I really thought the guy was.
He's dope.
You know, was gonna be a star, but. You know.
But hey, come on. Let's get into it. Obviously, I don't know if you watched our last video. Make sure you watch that Man United versus Liverpool. Listen, I was watching that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was really dope. I thought that video was dope when we responded to the Man U, loving that they had the video before that. Make sure you watch out for our music sleepers.
Did we give predictions about the PSG game? The last one, we didn't
give no predictions. Okay. But you want to start in the PSG? Is that you want to go straight with it?
Yeah, let's go.
Straight with it. You know what I mean? Non-stop content. Straight with it.
That's what the people are here.
Well, the people are here
for the match review.
People are here. Are they subscribing though? Are they subscribed? Ask them.
Ask them. Right. Where's it? Right.
Somewhere is it?
Right here.
Yeah. Anyway, PSG slapped Man United. Bow. Terry. Listen, on the football terrace, I watched it. Yeah, they got smacked up so bad. Yeah. That what the noise?
Yeah.
Obviously, they got smacked up so bad that, like, Terry wasn't even. He was like, "Oh, I understand PSG. You know, their team is just so much better than my team. Like, you know, this, that, whatever. Like, you know, I haven't even heard rants and bants, whatever. But anyway, who cares?
Yeah.
PSG, no Neymar, no Cavani. I spoke to you extensively outside of the videos, and you said that you felt like they could perform better. Explain. Which is what happened.
Yeah, I thought that.
Look at your smile. Could you go it right?
I thought with no Cavani and no Neymar, that it would allow them to play a different game tactically, because I think those guys are not as good defensively. Yeah. And if you look at the game, like Man United came out, tried to go full steam ahead of them, but they really shut them down because you had both Di Maria and Draxler walking back. Working hard. I just don't think you get that from Cavani's not as mobile as he used to be, and Neymar doesn't track back at all. You know? So I think it allowed him to play in a more solid way. Mbappe up the front, which a position he doesn't usually play by himself, or whatever, and just exploit the defender's game. So
we're gonna do our quick player ratings afterwards when we have a quick. But what would you say watching that game, watching the lineups that were put out? Are what Man United fans saying right, you know, that the PSG team is just so far evolved from them, yeah? Or do you believe that it was close and that Man United didn't perform? Or a combination of both?
I mean, listen, I think if you had polled Man United fans before the game and says, you know, would you guys take Nkembe in your team, they would probably say no. Maybe ask them about the German boy on the right, they would have said no. If you ask them, you know, Marquinhos or Matic, they would have said Matic. You know, Pogba or Verratti, they would have said Pogba. Yeah, you know what I mean? You know, ask them Martial or Di Maria, they would have said Martial. Yeah, so, you know, all of a sudden now, their squad is amazing and this and that.
The one thing I have to say is that I watched the PSG bench. That bench is a bunch of youth products, bro. Yeah. Like, Man United 100% have a better bench than them.
No, I think it might have come too soon for United. Like, I think this same game, maybe next season, where if Solskjaer stays and he's had a whole year to work with them and maybe bring in some new players or whatever, then I think, you know, it'd be a more even matchup. But in terms of just player for player, I don't think there was that much in it, especially when you take Neymar and Cavani out.
You did come out with an interesting theory that Man United are not. They talk about Champions League, talk about PSG or bottlers, but you'd say Man United in the last post-Ferguson, because you need to understand that Man United are not the same team post-Ferguson, that they haven't performed in Europe themselves.
No,
to be looking at
they've
PSG.
had a shocking European record. You know, I mean, out in the group stage under Van Gaal.
Not qualifying on the Moyes.
Not qualifying on the Moyes. Not qualifying on the Van Gaal's second season. Seville last year was. I mean, I don't know if people forget that, but that was one of the worst Champions League performances I've ever seen by my United team.
And you said something very interesting about Pogba's Champions League knockout stages. So at least been at Man United.
Yeah, he hasn't performed. He hasn't performed in all those games. He may score a penalty or a couple of goals in the group stage, but you know, come the big games to Man United in the last 3 years, you know, he hasn't performed.
And when I'm looking at the game, so did Man United, you feel, perform to the best of what they could have done? How did the injuries affect them?
Massively. I think losing Lingard and what was the other chap? Martial at halftime, I think changed their whole game plan. You know,
Sanchez can't.
Nah, as we saw when Sanchez came on, he was absolutely dead. Sure. I really don't know what they could have done, to be honest, because they're not used to being in that position. They didn't really plan for it. Yeah. If anything, it shows that, you know, the squad needs work. Like if let's just say the same thing happened on the other team, and like, you know, mid game.
No, it did happen before the game.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I'm saying
about Draxler and
I'm saying, let's say just lost Di Maria. All of a sudden, just one player in that lineup. All of a sudden, the whole complexion of the game changes. So, I mean, what they could have done is maybe bring Lukaku on instead of Mata. Yeah. But they had a reason for bringing on Mata, because they had lost control of the game in terms of passing.
Oh, so they want to try and dictate.
Yes, they want to dictate.
Do you think honestly that Pogba should have came off? I thought he was having. I thought you should have stopped him if you're not performing. Like, you know, I'm a massive advocate
the thing is, who else plays in that position? Nobody. You have to change information.
But this is what I'd say. I'm a massive fan myself of, and obviously hindsight, looking back at what could have been done, I'm a massive fan of myself of no player is not subbable. If someone's playing bad, they're playing bad. No matter if they're your best player or your worst player. If they're not playing well, sub them off. And I'm a massive advocate of trying something new. Maybe Matt could play in midfield. We didn't know Fernandinho could play centre back until he did. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. I don't know if that's
it's too big stakes.
I don't know if that's the game to try.
Really,
you know, but I'm like that as well. Like anybody can get benched. Yeah. You know.
So Man United got smacked. Yeah. Do you think they'll go through next round? Can they still go through?
No. I think by then Cavani will be back. I think PSG are actually quite formidable in their own home ground, you know, as Liverpool found out when they went there.
What? And Barcelona found out?
Yes, Liverpool, Barcelona.
Chelsea.
In fact, they haven't lost at home this season, I don't think so.
And in recent seasons, they're pretty good at home.
Yeah. So I think and in fact, no team has ever come down from 2-0 down, Champions League history. So no team has ever come down from being 2-0 down from the first leg.
Yeah, but Barcelona came from 4.
Yes. No. Barcelona had the second leg at home. No team has ever gone away from home after losing the first leg at home.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm reading this quick headline before we come off PSG. 7 minutes versus PSG. I'm going to try and put it up on there. How Lukaku went from untouchable to token sub at Man United. 75 million man spends most of his time under the bench under Solskjaer, casting doubt over his long-term future at Old Trafford. What do you think about that?
I mean, he's played games on the social. He scored goals, like 3 or 4 goals in that period. So I don't think it's as dire as what people are saying. Like, he just doesn't get any minutes on the pitch at all.
I think
that was a very specific game. And then
I think one. Yeah, go on.
I think because he was the last substitute, you wait as long as possible, because if somebody picks up an injury and you've substituted your last substitute, and then you're down to 10 men.
Of course. So. And you're chasing the game as well, so you don't want to be... I think when I look at Lukaku, before we go, one, he's unlucky in the fact that the whole team was performing bad, but he was Mourinho's guy, so that happens. But 2, when you're bringing through a youth player, or a young boy that you see as the next 10 years at Man United, you haven't got time to be nurturing someone's head. You're trying to give him game. And when somebody's on form, it doesn't make sense to bench them. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the fact is...
And you know, I think Sam Bench just don't like competition. And I think he's one of those guys. Like, he doesn't want to have to compete with anybody. He wants to be, I'm the main guy. Okay, then I'll play well for you. But if you're telling me to compete with Rashford or compete with Torres or
You mean like more like an Aguero, like Aguero?
Some people raise their game. The better player comes in or whatever. Some guys don't want any competition. It's like this is my position. Let me just play it. So maybe he might have to leave Man United if Rashford's going to continue.
You mean like Jesus tried to say, "Yo, I want Aguero spot." Then Aguero said, "Yeah, 2 hat-tricks. Sit down, kid. Sit down. Get back on the bed." I mean, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. God, we have to talk about Thursday night football. God, yeah. So Thursday night football happened.
What about Tottenham though?
Oh yeah, Tottenham beat Dortmund 2-0. It's kind of the same game of 2 halves, isn't it? Yeah. Similar that Tottenham were like the PSG and Dortmund were like Man United, where Dortmund weren't too bad in the first half.
Yeah, I thought first half they were the better team.
Yeah.
Jadon Sancho really impressed me first half. Pulisic impressed me.
Yeah.
But you could tell that not having a striker up front really hampered PSG because all those nice moves,
PSG?
Dortmund,
yeah.
all those nice combination plays or whatever they
even they're missing Aubameyang kind of.
Yeah, no. But I mean, like their strikers were injured, Royce and Alcacer or whatever. Yeah. So it really affected the end.
Why has nobody mentioned that? But we mentioned Harry Kane and Dele Alli
because they're not English players. Okay. Nobody cares. But yeah, second half I think Jadon Sancho showed his age and his inexperience because. Once they double up on him and really paid him attention, he couldn't really do anything in the second half, and they fell away badly, But
3-0.
Tottenham were excellent,
They took the top. But Tottenham was amazing.
Song, looking like Tottenham's player this season.
Why do we keep saying that Dele Alli and Harry Kane are Tottenham's 2 attackers? But for me, if I'm just looking now, not before, I would say Hong-Min is their second best attacker.
Yeah,
and Harry Kane's their first.
Yeah, I think he's getting to that stage.
Yeah, Hong-Min's definitely stepped up. Yeah. He's coming into his prime.
Yeah, it's been a while since Dele Alli had that 20 goal. Or
18 goals plus. Yeah, I don't think he's still a great player.
Yeah,
but let's not talk about him like he's better than Hong-Min as an attacker. I don't think he is.
No.
To play a player that can play on the left.
Also, Mings is on fire right now.
He's on fire.
He's like one of the best players in the Premiership right now.
He is one of the best players in the Premiership right now. Yeah. Performing in Champions League, Premiership, this, that. So yeah, Tottenham, do you see them going through now? Definitely.
100%. But I think they actually have a tougher task than PSG.
You mean Man United?
No, the PSG.
PSG, okay.
Yeah, in the second leg. Because I think Dortmund could
really come at them.
And like maybe even blitz them, whatever. So they have to be really careful. I'm not assuming that the game is over. But 3-0 it should be. If they don't go through, then we have to bring out the Butlers.
Tottenham. Yeah. I also want to talk about Europa Cup briefly, because no one likes talking about Thursday night football. Nobody cares.
I care.
Arsenal faces BAT Borisov, yeah.
Yeah, Bate. What happened? I didn't see the game.
1-0. The pitch was nasty.
Let's pretend I didn't see the game. Tell me what happened.
The pitch was nasty. Let's talk about it. But that's no excuse.
Yeah.
Arsenal was shocking.
That's generally most of these small teams in Europe. That's one of the messy things about playing in the Europa League is that you're gonna play all this.
But yeah,
dodgy pitches.
Arsenal were shocking, dire, embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of anyone. I mean, people are dishing Iwobi tried. I don't have problem with tries. I thought Guendouzi had a bad game.
You know how people do with Iwobi.
I know. Listen. I've many times come out, and I believe one thing. I don't believe you shouldn't criticize anyone. That's I think that's wrong. Yeah? I think you should be able to criticize someone, but I think you should be able to constructively criticize.
I know one guy that's not going to criticize Iwobi though.
I know one guy as well. You're probably watching the video.
Yeah.
Yo, Ant, I know you're not gonna. Ant from the Football Gossip. I know you're not gonna say anything about Iwobi is the best Nigerian player to ever exist. Anyway, but
Mikel.
Anyway, no, I caught you.
Obviously, I'm just.
Oh, okay, but
I'm in London.
I thought Iwobi tried. I don't believe in not criticizing your players. I think that, like I said, it's come out and formally apologized. Got a red card for elbowing someone. There's no excuse. I don't care if someone's nibbling at you. Shocking. You're an experienced player. You're 28 years old. You know what I'm saying? 27 years old. You should know better than that. There's no excuse for that. You've really let the team down. Now, saying that, you can go forward and you can do your job by, performing well in the Premiership when you play again. Because he's almost got like 10 days off now. He's not going to be playing football for a while. You perform well in the Premiership and then show your worth there, but you really let the team down in that game. I thought Guendouzi got far too much of the ball and he's a ball carrier, not a creative player. I think the manager needs to get criticism because obviously I'm hearing Ramsey was injured. So Ramsey's injured. But I'm also hearing that Ozil had a sickness and partly I don't know what's going on there, but he's let the team down.
Bro, Ozil's been sick more times than
he's missed 100 games and 304 games, like with sickness, and I mean, which is ridiculous. But I would say when I watch Arsenal play, as bad as our defense is,
Yeah.
against teams like BAT Borisov, our biggest problems, because we conceded 1 goal, it wasn't like we conceded 5 and we're getting there. Our biggest problem is creating chances.
Yeah.
So if that's our biggest problem, why is our most creative player? And someone will say, you only got 2 assists this season. I understand what you're saying. But Ozil is known for creating chances. That's what he does well. Think about assists. Assists are just a combination of creating enough chances that we have a good enough strike force to put them away. But creating chances to me is more important than just assists.
Yeah.
Because creating chances, it means that I'm putting the ball on a plate for someone to do something with. Now, if you miss that, you whatever, someone can get an assist because they have a very efficient striker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So was it Denis Suarez? Did he play the whole game or
He came off the bench.
Why isn't he started?
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing there. You know what I'm saying? Like the man
How many minutes did he get?
20.
Yeah.
20.
How was it?
It was okay. I mean, he tried signing, but the team wasn't. No one was ready.
Nobody moving.
No one did anything really in that game that I can look back and say I was impressed by. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
But yeah, 1-0 loss. We have to take it back to the Emirates. I believe that they'll win in the Emirates, but can't take it seriously. I think the whole full team needs to come out in that next game. It's no joke. We need to blitz that team. Not only just to beat them to get through, but to let them know like we're not a joke. You know what I mean? Like we're not a joke. So that sort of thing.
So you said you want some other teams impressed you in the Europa League.
Napoli.
Yeah.
Napoli for me, and I'm not saying because Arsenal, whatever. Napoli for me are favourites, and they should have been for a couple of reasons. One, Ancelotti, as good as we're saying Fig won it 3 times. Ancelotti is a European champion. You can't put a European champion in Europa Cup and say, yo, we give it to Europa Cup. Nah. Ancelotti's won multiple Champions Leagues. He's the best manager in the Europa Cup for me. Yeah. I think Napoli are the most balanced team. You see what I said there? I never said the best squad. I never said whatever, but the most balanced team. So that means front to back, I think they have the most equally gifted players, which allow them, and they're all good. They're all of a good standard. Yeah. Koulibaly's probably the best defender in the Europa Cup. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They have a good goalkeeper. They have a good strike force. They have Martins, etc.
I mean, behind Ampadu,
But I watched them against Zurich, which I think are a far better team than Borisov or a better team than Malmo. Yeah. And I thought that Napoli completely were just so far the better team. Yeah. But talking about
definitely wants to avoid them too.
Yeah, you avoid the final. You don't want to face. You want someone else to knock them out.
Oh, yeah.
Also Inter Milan won. You know, there's another team to focus on. I think they're doing well. Valencia won. But Chelsea, looking at Chelsea, you watched the game more than I did. What do you think?
I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Like, well, you know, after like a 6-0 defeat, like you want to watch your team, so you just get that memory out of your head as soon as possible.
So winning was the key. You won.
Huh?
You won. That's the key. You won away from home.
Yeah, so we won away from home. Scored our first away goals of 2019.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
I thought the performance was solid because the things we have to remember, like, you know, I've seen a lot of like criticism online and people complaining about the game and the performance.
That you won.
Yeah, but that's what they were complaining about, the performance, because a lot of people right now are invested in this like hate Barkley thing, and even if he scores, they still have to find some way to share on it. You know, I thought he had a good game.
He scored.
I don't even just. I thought he created stuff. He runs off the ball, like he did stuff in the game, like he impacted the game. But people just.
I think once they gone,
yeah. I mean, they just.
You know, it was in the worst. It was in the worst defeat.
And listen, and that's the real sad thing about like all these, you know, fan channels. I think they're missing an opportunity, because I thought, okay, fan platforms, will be. They're not going to make the same mistake like pundits make. Because a lot of pundits, whenever they back a certain player or they make a statement, they find every way in the world to stick to it, or Paul Messon, you know, abusing us or whatever, never getting us credit.
Etc.
But I would expect fans, especially fans of your own club, and these are players that you like. If the guy plays well, give him his credit. If you want to slaughter him afterwards, then slaughter him afterwards.
I feel like that.
Don't hold agendas.
I feel like that with Iwobi, Xhaka, Mustafi. Even though, but if Xhaka plays well. Yeah, compliment him. Mustafi plays. Iwobi's getting that a lot right now. Even if he plays well, he's getting no.
All it means is that the player is inconsistent, not that they're bad. I mean that's what it means. Yeah. So yesterday's game, Giroud started.
He scored
William Pedro. You know what I mean? He brought physical presence to the game. He did all right. I give him a 6. Yeah, he had like 3 or 4 chances, Giroud. Okay. But
who was the man of the match?
His goal was very nice. Man of the match for me was Barkley for me. Yeah, I thought Barkley was man of the match.
Did they say who officially won it? Or?
I can't remember, you know. But I thought Barkley was man of the match for me. William played well. Pedro didn't really do anything. Where I will agree with what people were saying online was that everybody was saying Hudson-Odoi should have started, and I agree. Yeah, I thought it was a good game for him.
You know how I feel about Hudson.
Pedro really didn't do much at all, and then they didn't bring Pedro in until I think 10 minutes to go.
You mean Hudson there?
Hudson, they didn't bring him in.
Which wasn't enough time.
It wasn't enough for him to.
And you said that people weren't passing to him.
Yeah, they seem to be going towards Hazard a lot. Like he only got like 2 or 3 balls in the whole 10 minutes or whatever, you know. And when he did have the ball, he did stuff with it. You know what I mean? So we shall see. But you know, going into the
Chelsea,
Man United game, you need all these little things. I'm confident. A lot of people are not confident. Oh, United was gonna have. I'm confident.
You got a good record
United.
at the Bridge.
Yeah, it's a good record at the Bridge. Man United missing 2 of their really.
But no, but
players,
let's keep it real.
You know?
Outside of PSG and Tottenham, you're the biggest team they face. Like you're a big thing for them as well. It's not like they're facing you and they're like, it's just Chelsea, we should beat them. You're still a hard team for them to beat because of the record you've had in the past, and you're still a big team. So.
Yeah, I think the key to that game is first goal, because we've shown that whenever we go behind, it's hard for us to come back. Bro. Yeah, I mean, even the way we play, the possession, the passing, for us to be patient, to keep the crowd on side, you need to get that first goal. Okay. If they score, all of a sudden the crowd starts getting crazy, getting antsy, they're on your back. You feel you have to rush everything, and then you just forget the whole Sarri ball. It just becomes individual.
So obviously, really, the only changes he's going to make is whether William or Pedro starts.
Yeah,
William for you.
William for me.
Okay, and if Barkley or Kovacic are going to start.
Barkley for me. Okay, you know,
or Emerson or Alonso.
Emerson.
True?
Yeah.
Emerson played yesterday?
He played yesterday.
Okay, play what?
He did all right. Yeah, I mean, but
he needs game time.
was so bad.
Yeah.
But
do you believe with game time, Emerson will become better?
Yeah, I do. Because I've seen him. Yeah, I thought even last season on the Conte, I thought he played a lot better than he has this season. Yeah. So I think he needs to play.
What's he good at? I don't know.
Crossing. He's good at crossing the ball. He's good in like tight spaces, one touch with Hazard. He's quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and he can play 1-2s and stuff like that. But he's not the strongest. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't always make the right decision. You know what I mean? So.
Well, you say give him a nice run to see what really he can be.
Yeah, I think 4-5 games at least. The only problem is that this is our toughest stage of the season, isn't it? So it's tough.
Okay. I also wanted to talk about
I'm Sarrian, by the way. I'm Sarrian.
You're Sarrian?
Yeah. To the end of the season at least.
So a player that we spoke about, but we haven't really spoke about him in this, but we spoke about content. Arsenal, Man United, Everton, Porto star Brahimi. Is it Brahimi? Yeah, Brahimi. Yeah, we've been speaking about this guy off camera for a long time. Brahimi's 29 years old.
Very good.
He's a player from Porto. I think he's on 7 or 8 goals right now, 7 or 8 assists. He plays predominantly on the left-hand side. He likes to cut in. He's good at shooting. Me and Banj have been speaking about teams signing players on free contracts and why the Premiership look down on signing players on free contract, whereas bigger teams or teams on the same size as some Premier League teams, such as Juventus, thrive on signing Khedira, Pogba, Ramsey, etc. You know, they go out their way to sign players on a free. You know what I mean? Even Bayern Munich signed, was it Lewandowski on a free or was it Hummels? Or did they pay for them both?
I can't remember.
Yeah, but anyway, even Bayern, but I'm saying, why is it that Premier League teams do not like signing players on a free contract, and why is it that we felt like you remember me speaking
even on a loan, like loan.
I've said a long time that I feel like I wanted to sign Brahimi for a long time before. Yeah, and now only they're linked with this. Yeah.
I don't know. Like I think the scouting is just very poor in the Premier League. I think there's just too much money, and just like. They just don't know how to find those gems because it's just got too much money to spend. I think they can just put money behind any situation and stuff like that. But I think he'd be a good signing for anybody.
Yeah, cutting away. I personally think if he's a winger,
I've seen him a couple of times.
He's on the left hand side. I don't know why he goes to Man United over Martial. You know what I mean? Yeah. Unless I don't know what's going to happen there.
Backup, innit?
Yeah. But obviously Wolves are after him as well. Yeah. And Everton. I mean, Everton, I can see Everton offering him more money than Arsenal, so that's a chance.
The funny thing, Wolves probably end up getting him, because
he's Portuguese.
He's Portuguese, and also they will believe in that system, the loaning, the bank getting back. That's what they've been doing, and I think they'll go hard for it. I think the other clubs will dilly-dally him before he's gone. So.
It'd be interesting signing. I think Arsenal should really go through him. I think he's a very good player.
I think
there's other players on. Before we go, there's other players I think on the contract running down. There's a player that you guys should check out called Hector Herrera, box-to-box midfielder. I think is very good. There's obviously Andrew Herrera. I think his contract's still running down. He hasn't signed a new contract. There's a lot of players that you can actually get that contracts are running down who make sense. David Luiz, but he's probably gonna sign a new contract.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, De Gea signed a 1-year extension, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So I think that you shouldn't look down on the free transfer list, because there's players that you can sign that can come out to be worth more than certain players that you signed for 40 million.
And the whole point is it's less risk.
It's less risk.
Think of all the trash your club has signed in the last couple of years and how you could have just avoided that by signing someone free, and you can now sell them if it doesn't work out afterwards.
Of course.
You know.
But this has been us at the Football Pull Up. Before we go, obviously, the memory on this is right now is at 10 seconds left. Make sure you share, you like, you subscribe, all of that. We got new videos coming in the studio soon. It's been me, King Jones.
Bench.
We out.